Today in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we're going to talk about what's going on in Impact and how Tessa Blanchard got terminated from Impact. She's no longer the Impact World Champion. There was a lot of confusion leading up to this situation. I will tell you my feedback and why she should have never, ever been the World Champion to begin with. That and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Welcome back, guys, to the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I want to thank to all those people who have subscribed to my channel, and all the people who have subscribed to my audio channel on Anchor, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Anyway, you guys like listening to the audio podcast, you guys can listen to the audio podcast there, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, and here's in my channel, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Today we're going to be talking about the situation with Tully Blanchard. Right now, as before I got on, there was more stuff going on with Impact, and I don't know what to say about Impact because every time I see Impact, there's something negative going on with them. They are for a fact trying to build a promotion again with the women's knockout division, which is something good because I mean. Again, a couple of months ago, I got into a discussion with somebody who claimed that the Impact division is the best in the world. Well, just say that when, NXT has died down so bad. It's just ridiculous. But we're going to talk about the Tessa Blanchard situation. Now, you guys will know that back in January, when Tessa was going for the Impact World Championship, there was a lot of stuff that came out about her using racist comment, bullying other wrestlers. Got to the point where the NWA Women's Champion at that time, I forgot her name, but shouted out Tessa. And to begin with, at first when Tessa was going for the Men's World Championship, I was all for it because I said, you know what, she's going to be the first one. I love Tessa Blanchard, the way she wrestles. Her as a person, I really don't know because a lot of people always say that she has an attitude. She had an attitude for the Mae Young Classic. WWE never wanted to sign her. Then there was word also that a Women of Wrestling promotion, that she was being a bully in there, and that's how Women of Wrestling ended up losing the contract with Access Channel. Well, I got something else. I'm sure Access, they didn't lose that because of that. It was because of Anthem, Impact. They wanted to be the only promotion in there to be the one running stuff because once they bought Access, they got rid of New Japan and they got Women of Wrestling was gone. They never renewed the contract. They blame Tessa Blanchard, but what proof do you have about that? But anyway, all of a sudden, Tessa Blanchard is going for the men's world title, and in January, all these allegations came out that she's used racist comment on, I forgot, La Rosa Negra, I think that was her name. Other wrestlers stepped up. Chelsea Green stepped up saying that she got bullied by Tessa Blanchard. At the end, Tessa Blanchard ended up winning the men's title, beating Michael. I think it was Sami Callihan. I think he beat him for that. I think it was Sami Callihan she beat for that title. But once she beat him, there was so many negative vibes coming our way because they were saying, "Why is she the champion?" You have everybody on Twitter saying that she's a bully. She's used the N-word. It was just a cluster of negative stuff that was coming out from Tessa. So Impact still went along with leaving her as the world champion. I never liked the fact that she stood this long with the title. That belt should have been gone off of her by second month, by February. And they played around with it. They had Michael Elgin chasing that, Eddie Edwards chasing that. Now they got Trey Austin going after that. There was a bunch of people going after the belt. But then the pandemic hit. And now she was in Mexico because, as you well know, she is engaged to Daga, who's also an Impact wrestler. And according to reports from Fightful and other Wrestle Talk and everybody, they saying that there was already a bad relationship between Impact and Tessa Blanchard. They asked Tessa Blanchard, can you please send us promos for us to put in our TV shows? And it was supposed to be the beginning of this month. And she wanted to get paid by day rate. I don't know what that means. I don't think... I think she figures, you know, you got to pay me if you want me to do that extra work, whatever. I think that's silly on her part because you're still getting paid because you're under contract. Her contract ended at the end of this month. Even though she was booked for Slammiversary in the Fireway match that she was supposed to defend the belt. Well, you guys will know that in Rebellion, before they even put Rebellion on TV, they never announced anything about Tessa Blanchard ever popping up. She wasn't going to make it. They didn't say that until the week they were going to show Rebellion on TV. They claimed that she couldn't make it in because she was stuck in Mexico. Now, what is she doing in Mexico to begin with? Well, she's engaged to Daga. So she's been out there for a bit longer since the pandemic. She hasn't been able to come back. I don't know if Mexico and Canada have the borders are closed. They can't travel from back and forth, but Anthem is pretty much in Canada. I think the office is in Canada, but she still didn't want to relinquish the title, which is kind of selfish on her part because your contract ends June 30th. You was gonna drop the belt anyway, because they were not gonna leave you with that belt. Most likely Michael Elgin would have won it, or Eddie Edwards would have, or Trey Austin would have won it. Somebody would have won it, but she was not gonna keep that belt. And everything just got messed up real bad. Now, to put it this way, they were supposed to have a Slammiversary show where she was supposed to defend about Michael Elgin, and Michael Elgin now, as of now, he would not appear ever again on an Impact show. Now they say he was suspended indefinitely. Now they're saying that he's not going to show up. So is he fired? They took his merchandise off the Impact website. He's not in the roster, so he's gone. Michael Elgin, of course, you guys know that he was the accusations against him this past week came out. So was Joey Ryan. He got fired. David Chris got fired. So right now, Impact is a cluster. You know what? And now you go out of nowhere and you fire Tessa. Now, it's funny how they claim that has nothing to do. They didn't fire her because that has nothing to do with what happened back in January. She should have been fired. As much as I love Tessa, I mean, I look at it now. She should have been fired. That's the way I'm looking at it. She should have been fired, and Impact just did it for clout. That's what they did. They did it for clout. They wanted clout because, I mean, you think about it. They came up with the idea of a woman winning the men's world title, and Tessa at that time was the best women's wrestler in the wrestling industry. She was making moves. She was doing stuff that a lot of people will be like, wow, you know. She was one of the hottest female wrestlers out there. And she was going to go and do something that no other female wrestler was going to do. And that was become the first woman to ever win the men's world title in Impact. Or any promotion at that. China did it. China won the Intercontinental belt. The first woman to ever do that. But this was bigger than what China did. You know what I'm saying? And just a week before she's about to win the world title, or they're about to put the belt on her, all these allegations popped up. Chelsea Green. I forgot. Damn, I can't get her. She used to be the NWA Women's Champion. I can't get her in my head. But she was one of the girls that really was out there putting out there how Tessa was being a bully. And now with all this happening with Impact, what are they going to do now? You just fired Joey Ryan. You just fired Michael Elgin, even though you say you haven't fired him. You just fired David Chris. Okay, you cannot afford to keep losing wrestlers because no matter how much. And regardless, I think they safe. They're more like Ring of Honor. No matter how bad their shows does, they're not gonna get taken out. That the freaking company owns the channel, so they're gonna have it no matter what, how bad the wrestling is or not. I mean, and the only thing that's saving that company, I think, pretty much, I don't know how this is being saved. And a lot of the taping they do it in Canada, they don't do it here in the United States. So, and I don't care what anybody says. That's why one of the reasons why I don't cover Impact as much because they're not in the radar. They're a blip. They're a little dot on the radar. They're not even in the top 5. You know what I'm saying? NWA Power right now is a little better than them. And NWA Power just lost I think the NWA TV champ recently. I forgot the guy's name also, but they're losing guys. So it's sad. Now the question is, where is Tessa going? For one, we don't need Tessa in AEW. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You got enough wrestlers in there that you need to put to shine. Okay, you need to fix. AEW needs to fix that women's division. You know what I'm saying? And now B Priestley, I don't know what's gonna happen with her because there's allegation that she was also bullying somebody in Japan, along with Will Ospreay. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's allegations of that. But she'll probably be back. B Priestley and all that stuff. That's she said, he said type now. But Tessa Blanchard in AEW, I don't know. Maybe she'll stay in AAA because remember, her future husband Daga is in Mexico right now, and she loves Mexico. She's been staying over there. She has not tried to come back. And her dropping, like I said, Impact was foolish to leave that belt on her. Now, don't get me wrong, they did the right thing of doing something for clout because they did it for clout. They were going to do something that no promotion would have done, and that made a women's wrestler to become the men's world champion. Okay, and they went and they did it. But then when they did it, there was a lot of negative vibes and a lot of negativity coming from that for her winning the belt. And then to make it worse, in Rebellion, since she didn't show up, Impact goes and pulls out that old TNA belt and puts it on Moose. So now I'm very confused. Like, okay, so Tessa is not in Mexico. It's in Mexico. She's not going to come. She has the Impact world title in her, in her grasp, and she's in her possession, if we could say. And now you got Moose walking around with the TNA Heavyweight Championship that don't mean crap now because Impact got merged a long time ago. So now Moose is walking around with a TNA belt, and that's what the confusion was. That's why I asked my boy Jay from Turnbuckle Tabloid, I said, is Tessa still the world champion? He told me they had stripped off the belt, but apparently not, because she still has the belt. And now all of a sudden, yesterday they went and announced that she's been terminated. I mean, it's crazy how she got terminated. She got terminated, and they claimed that's because she didn't want to do no promos, videos, and she couldn't make it come in. There was, they said it was icy from the beginning of the month. There was a lot of back and forth bickering between Tessa Blanchard and Impact. But I think because of the Speak Out movement, Speak Now movement, they figured, well, we got rid of Joey Ryan, we got rid of David Chris and Michael Elgin because of the allegations of racism, or not racism, or sexual accusations. We got to do something about Tessa, because I know Tessa was being accused of racism and bullying. So, and now that Speak Now movement is not only sexual accusations, it's also mental abuse. So, I mean, what's going to happen now? I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't know what they're going to do, because now you lost Joey Ryan, you lost David Chris, you lost Michael Elgin, and you lost Tessa Blanchard. That's 4 stars that they lost in a matter of not even a month, in weeks. So what is Impact going to do? This is a big blow for them. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to take shots at Impact because Impact again last year they were doing so much. There was so much stride. 2018 they were turning that corner. I was like, good, look, turn 2018. But then they started losing wrestlers. They lost Pentagon. They lost Ray Phoenix. They lost LAX. Who else they lost? They lost a couple of other people. I don't remember who else they lost, but it was they started to lose stuff. But then last year's anniversary, they had that match between Tessa and Sami Callihan, and then that whole pay-per-view was pretty good. But then it just died. It was just once Tessa became the champion, and a lot of people will agree with me in this, especially Impact fans. Once Tessa had the title, that died. That died. It's like she was not. They had her in tag teams. They had her. I think that she wrestled the X Division champion at one point. I just don't understand. Like, what happened? I mean, you put a woman as a champion who was taking on against men. That's something for you guys to even be like, have people watching this, but there weren't. And it just, I know I saw a couple of episodes of Impact and I was like, what happened to this fucking promotion? You know? In the women's division, I saw a couple of women. I mean, Valkyrie's still there. She's one of my favorite. Jordan Grace is another one I love. The rest of the girls, I'm just going to go that. You know what I'm saying? Kylie Ray, of course, I remember her. She's pretty good. Hogan, she's pretty good. But you can't depend on the women's division because right now the women's revolution is not. It's a lot of bullcrap going on in wrestling that they're trying to kill the women's wrestling division. You know what I'm saying? The women's evolution was hot. The last 3 years, I don't know what the hell has happened. But ever since Tessa became the champion, it was just, you would think that by her doing that, the women's division would have blew up. But instead, that was a major failure because it wasn't like people were going to see Impact every week because of her. It just died. And then everybody can say whatever they want. It just died. It wasn't, right now, the only people that I like in the whole Impact is the North. You know what I'm saying? The North, that tag team is good. But, the problem with Impact is you got a bunch of old ass people in there. Tommy Dreamer should be gone. Tommy Dreamer shouldn't even be there. Tommy Dreamer, Reiner, RVD. You want me to continue? Sandman at one point was in there. I mean, Impact has lost so many wrestlers. They lost Killer Cross. It's just, I don't know. But this was a surprise last night. When I saw that Tessa Blanchard got fired, I was like, what? What would you fire her for? Did you fire her because of what happened in January 5 months ago? And then, so I kept finding information. It was all over because of promotion. She was not sending videos of the promotion. They were going back and forth. She probably knew that her contract was going to call over and she didn't care. I mean, that's the way I look at it. She probably figured June 30th, if I don't care, if you fire me or get rid of me, you will have to deal with the fact that I was the world champion. Nobody was able to beat me. I mean, that's the least you could leave with. Nobody beat her in Impact. You know what I'm saying? But then again, she never brought the title to fight for, defend the belt. So, I don't know. I think Impact made a big mistake putting that belt on her in January. And they did it for clout. They did it for clout. Yeah, that's all they did it for. They didn't do it for nothing else. And now they're paying for it. They're paying for it big time. And you got to deal with that. You got to deal with the consequences. And you got nobody else to blame but yourself. And now, now you guys, unless you now, I don't know, they gotta have to sign people. I know Heath Slater, I think, will be coming in to team up with Rhino. And that's a fact because he mentioned something about, I got my partner got kids. So you already know who that is. There's a bunch of other wrestlers out there that Impact could grab and make it interesting. But that belt should have never been with Tessa Blanchard this long. 5 months. 5 months with that belt. And it wasn't pretty to defend it at all. She kept that belt. And now you got to deal with Moose now. What are you going to do with Moose? Moose supposedly is the TNA champion. Are they running still with that storyline? They're going to merge the belts again? We'll see. I mean, that's going to be interesting. And who knows. But I just wanted to get in there and talk about the Tessa Blanchard situation. But we'll see what happens because, again, Impact, this could be good for Impact. And now you could sign all those ex-WWE wrestlers that WWE let go. I mean, you got Rusev is still out there. Heath Slater, Kurt Hawkins, Larry Henning, Larry Hennig, Kurt Hennig's son, Curtis Axel, whatever his name is now. So you got wrestlers out there they could grab. You could grab a bunch of them and make something out of it with the rest of the, talent. You could grab independent wrestlers out there that probably needs a place to, to work. You could, a bunch of them. So, Tessa, and as far as Tessa is concerned, I don't know where she's gonna work. AEW maybe, but she don't fit in there. She does not fit in there. She will not get. She'll fit in there because her father's there. But are you gonna now push everybody to the side to push Tessa? That'd be messed up because Britt Baker right now is the hottest heel in there. Even though she's on a wheelchair, but she's the hottest heel right now. But I don't know. I know she ain't going to WWE. If she comes to WWE, they're gonna bury her. Oh, they're definitely gonna bury her. Charlotte Flair, they will definitely bury her. That's a no-brainer right there. Anyway, that's it, guys. Giving my 20 minutes of rant about this, or my feedback on this. I thank you for listening to my podcast. Let me know what you think about this. Tessa Blanchard getting fired, and was it a good idea? The Impact actually let her hold that belt for that long, and was it a good idea to even put the belt on her? So, let me know. Leave me your comments, your feedbacks. Again, if you want more information on me and my Chokeslam Wrestling Report, you could hit the links on top of the page. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you guys could check it out. Check out my like I said, I'm just lost right now. Just find out all my information, whatever you want. Also, subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell for new uploads, and you guys can check out my rest of my channel. I got a bunch of stuff here, a lot of interesting topics. Let me know what you think about all the other stuff. Also, the AEW 4 Horsemen might show up. That's the last video I put up a week ago, so you could check that out. I got a bunch of stuff here. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you like it. Whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. Just give me a feedback. Hit that notification bell. Give me that thumbs up so I'll be able to get searched faster through the search engine, and I will be with you guys again soon next week. Hopefully, if there's any major topic, major issue. Until then, guys, you have a good night. Stay safe. Wear that mask. That mask saves lives. And 6 feet away from each other. So until then, I'll see y'all soon.